Hey everyone. All right, so we've got part 2 of this engine swap on the John Deere 826 snowblower. This will be the putting the engine back on. I went to Harbor Freight today and picked up the Predator 6.5 horsepower motor. All right, let's see what we've got here. I'm opening it up. So we've got instruction manual. To avoid danger of suffocation, please keep this plastic bag away from oh no, never mind. There she blows. 10% ethanol or less. Beautiful. It's got the on-off switch over here. It's got a gas shut-off on and off, so you can turn the fuel off and drain the bowl every time you're done, instead of letting the fuel sit in the bowl of the carburetor and then cause corrosion. Of course, you got your choke all set up and your throttle. I don't think I'm even gonna use the throttle linkage from the snowblower when I get this on there. To be honest, I don't know why you'd need to. When you start up the snowblower, you start it off slow, you know, crank it up, and you're not going to turn it down while you're blowing the snow, you know. So reach over and turn it down when you're finishing up. Big deal. We'll see. Fill gas here, use fuel stabilizer, add engine oil below. On that note, I stopped at the local Meijer on the way home from the Harbor Freight, got some 5W30 since we're using this primarily in cold weather. No reason to really put 1030 in it. I got conventional because for the break-in, you don't want to use synthetic, okay? You want to use conventional motor oil for a break-in. Break-in period is 3 hours, it says in the manual. Spoiler alert, I already read it. And what we'll do is run it for that 3 hours, change the oil, change it again after 20 hours, which is the completion of break-in, but that first 3 hours you want to run it with no load. So we'll get it on there, fire it up, let it run for 3 hours, you know, and then I'll be ready to blow snow. And it looks like, according to the forecast, I've got 6 inches coming next week. Now, you know, as well as I do, they're not right about that, but it could be 1 inch, it could be 12. So winter's not over. We need to get this engine on. So let me get the snowblower tipped back down and we'll get this thing going. All right, so one thing I want to do here is clean up this engine before we put this thing on there, because that's a holy mess. Now it's an unholy mess. Spray a little WD-40 on that. And get that heavy grease off. I think what I'll do over the summer is take this thing back apart and clean it up and paint it. I'd really like to make it look good, but we got about 500 other projects to do too, so we'll see if we get to it. The engine will go on here like this ish. Okay. Now what I like also about this engine is it's got a pretty slick, I didn't notice this on the old one, but the mounting holes, it looks like I've got bolts coming off through here that fit right onto the front of that base, and then the rear holes actually match up. Not sure exactly if that's going to work yet. This is just a real rough mock-up, but hey, it's possible. Okay, so let me tip this up here and see what we've got as far as those bolts that are sticking up there. Let's bring you guys along, huh? Okay, so, oh yeah, those are, well, that's nothing. Those are just, what were those for? Looks like a rivet head to where those bolts are on the top. But I certainly didn't take anything off of those, so. Let's see if we can pound those out. Now, since I'm not worried about using those screws, I'm not going to be worried about damaging those threads. Yeah, they're not budging. All right, so it looks like this motor, as long as those bolt positions are accurate, this thing's sitting up here really nicely, and man, right, looks like where it needs to go. And these rear poles, looks to me like they line up pretty darn well with the holes that were there. Yeah, look at that, fell right in. Okay, well, at the very least, we've got a pin with using those old bolts there. I'm going to try to get those out. It's like a rivet head to the other side of that thing, so I'm not sure about that yet. Another nice thing I'm noticing here as I've mocked this up a little bit is that there's plenty of clearance, at least right now, the way this was redone. So that's good. I won't have any problems with that. I've also measured the crankshaft, and on the old motor it was 2 1/4 inches, and on this one it's 2 3/8. So it's virtually the same. So yeah, we'll be cleaning up this pulley before we put it on this motor. We don't want to leave it all grimy and gunky like that and corroded. That won't take too long. Real quick, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to show you the path this thing made through the 10, 12, and 14-inch snow that's out here before that engine blew up. It's starting to melt a little bit now. It's got a little bit warmer day, but yeah, I did a great job, didn't even slow down, so I'll know exactly what the old engine did and compare it to this new one once I get it on. I'll be sure to let you know that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these off with an angle grinder, then drill through where those studs are. It's really a rivet head on the back. I can't unthread it or nothing, so we're going to cut that off. Now I'm going to replace those with actual bolts once I get holes in there. And that will allow for 4 bolts to hold the motor down the way it's really supposed to be. All right, that was nice and loud. Sorry about that. Now, we're going to drill those out. Still got my old Ryobi drill. This thing is awesome. Let's see, what size hole should we make? 5/16. Alright, sounds good to me. Let's see if these bits are sharp. I'd say that bit is sharp. What do you think? Hard part is getting this right in the middle. Alright, I did a good job sharpening that bit on the old bench grinder, huh? That worked out great. What I'd like to do is show you how to do that, but we'll do that in another video. "20-year-old Ryobi drill still kicking ass." Alright, so this thing needs a little cleaning up. I'm gonna hit this with a wire wheel. Got a wire brush. Shove that in there. I was thinking about cutting that off and sticking it in the drill. Alright, I went ahead and cut that off with a pair of nips. Just cut the handle right off, no big deal. And we're gonna straighten that out a little bit. Get rid of some of that vibration. That's better. Hit it in reverse and clean it up a little better. With those bristles, they tend to compress to the direction you're going. So if you go the other direction, they'll kind of scrub it clean again. That'll probably work a little better. We're going to definitely use a degreaser on this before we put the belts on it. Alright, we'll use a little screwdriver, clean out that keyway and some of that junk that's still stuck in there. Yep, see that? It's not bad. Shove a paper towel in there. Okay. Kind of like it. Pretty cleaned up. So what I just did was re-drilled these two holes with a 3/8 inch drill bit, and these two holes are already 3/8 inch in size, and checking on the motor base, those holes are 3/8 inch in size. Well, that one's more of a slot, but that hole, they're both 3/8 inch. So I've got 3/8 inch grade 8 bolts, washers and lock washers, and nuts. Hey, go big or go home, right? Why use 5/16 when we can use 3/8? Gonna set this motor up here right about where we want it. Okay guys, so here's the challenge. The challenge is getting up from underneath and reaching in there with all the mess that's going on in there. So we got to get up in there with the bolt. I don't know how that's going to work with the camera, but let's see. Okay, that might not work like I thought. I see here. I've got another trick up my sleeve. Now these, I gotta be honest, I credit my wife with these. She saw these 20 years ago over at, I don't know where it was, Harbor Freight maybe. Aha! So I've got it over here with these pliers. Hopefully you can see that, I don't even know. And I got it through there. Let me tap on that screen. Come on. Oh no. Are you kidding me? Hold on a second. Okay, so these long pliers held the bolt, got it through the hole from underneath here, and it popped. I got it to pop through, put a nut on it, and I'm sorry I had to turn the camera off to answer a phone call, and I did not want to not put a nut on there and have it fall off, and I had to start over. So let's see if we can do the next one and have you see that. So we're going to try to stick this bolt up in here. Success. And hold it with one hand here while I quickly reach around to put a nut. Well, I'm going to put a washer and a lock washer and then a nut on here. Okay, fantastic. There you go. Now we can at least turn the thing up on its end to get into all these other spots and see what we're doing. See, it's in place. So now we can do this. Okay, cool. Okay, we've got these long pliers and the bolt. We're going to try to shove this into there. There it is. Just want you to see that. We got that one in. Okay, let's put a lock washer and a nut on that. Now this one isn't quite sticking through as far. What's up? It's not quite going through all the way. There we go. There we go. Okay, see that? It's nice and in there. All right, now remember, the blue is in the red bottle, the red is in the blue bottle. What a bunch of a-holes. Okay. Shouldn't need too much. Let's not get too crazy here. We'll put a washer. And I'm doubling up. I'm putting a washer and a lock washer. Leave me a comment. Tell me how stupid that is. But beautiful. Okay. Let's take this nut off and put some Loctite on that. So let's get a little bit of Loctite on there. And I'm sorry, thread locker. Let's not piss off the people at Permatex. So instead of putting it on the bolt that I can't reach, I put it into the nut. That'll get it done. We're gonna take this nut off. And I've just got a few drops of thread locker left, so we're gonna put it in the nut instead of dripping it in the wrong place on the bolt that I can't hardly reach. Put that on. Okay, let's tighten that up a little bit. Alright, let's see if we can get this fourth one in the hole here. Gotta finagle my way around here. These long pliers are really great. Do a little wiggling of the motor. There we go. Pop through. There we go. All right, I'm gonna put a lock washer on that. Put a little bit of red thread locker from our blue tube into the nut. Okay. Get that started. Not need much, just a thread or two, and then we can try to use El Wrencho. Alright, so we're going to take an extension. I'm going to get in it from underneath. Okay, that'll work, and put a wrench on here. not get too crazy yet. Get them snugged up. All right, we lost the socket inside there, so we're gonna get our trusty magnet on a stick. Kabam! All right, let's see here. Okay, that's two. Go from this side and repeat. Now this is an old impact, so don't get worried about me putting too much force on it. Trust me. This thing ain't doing much. Sounds like it is, but now that one we're gonna need a swivel for. Just when you think you got it. All right, it's on. It's not going anywhere. It's not the space shuttle. Right, Terrell? All right, guys, let's pull her down and see what's next. Engine's on, we got plenty of clearance all around it. Next step, we're gonna put this pulley on. Put a little bit of grease on this thing. Keep it from corroding over time here. And there is a threaded end on this shaft. I wonder if maybe we'll try to put a bolt in at the end to hold it too. Probably not necessary, but maybe we'll do it. All right, greased up. Slides on nice. Okay, that's cool. Now we're not going to tighten it up until we know where it needs to go. So to do that, we've got to put the belts back on. So there's the one belt. Okay. Well, that didn't work because it came off the pulley down below. So we gotta redo that. Hold on. Okay, get it on that pulley. Down in the hole. Well, come on now. Being difficult. Hoping we don't have to tilt this on its end to do this. But we might want to. Okay, we got it on the pulley below. I'm going to take this tensioner off. Feed this through here. Holding tension on it. Get it over the pulley. This is the hard part. What I'm going to do is pull on the motor and try to pop it over the pulley. Okay, got it over one side, and I'm pulling on the starter cable to pull the crank around. Okay. Now, what we got to do though, move this pulley out a little. Okay. Pull the tensioner back. The problem is I'm pushing the tensioner towards this side a little, so it's kind of making it difficult. We're going to pull that tensioner back, shove the pulley in there, get that belt in there. Come on. All right, it's almost there. Let me just get something to push it in there with. Okay, That one's on. This one should be well, might be a little easier. We'll see. Okay, this one's easier because the tension doesn't go on for that one until you engage the auger. Okay, so the auger gets engaged by that pulley, so it's starting out loose, and well, it's less work that way. So that now we can see where this pulley on the crankshaft needs to go, and it's really just right where it, you know, it's gonna go. Lines itself up as you pull it, so you can see it's a pretty straight shot. All right, so I'm gonna pull out that set screw. Put a little put a little thread locker on that. And I'm gonna use red as well. It may or may not be a good idea, but I'll be honest, this thing's, you know, it's a snowblower, they vibrate. Okay, get my Allen key, so we've got some red thread locker. I don't have a lot, just, you know, a couple threads worth. No, I'm a dummy because I put it on that end. We gotta put it on this end. That's it. It didn't really tighten very far there, did it? Okay. Okay. Snugged down pretty good. I'm not going to get too crazy with it. It's not a giant bolt. It's just a little set screw. Okay. That's together. So you can see we pull the motor, turns the crank. We engage the auger, pulls that one tight, and the auger turns as the crank turns. So we've got that done. I think it's time to fill it with dinosaur syrup and dinosaur juice. Now, this thing has a built-in little fuel strainer, so that's kind of cool. And keep some of the junk out of there. I didn't see a fuel filter on this thing, and I'll be honest, I kind of wished it had one. I was considering taking a piece of hose and putting one on, and I might still do that. But well, we'll worry about that later. It only takes a half a quart of oil, so that 1 quart will be good for that 3 hours of break-in at 50% throttle, and then I'll change it and then run it for the full 20 hours where I can put it under load. After that 20 hours of running total, I'll just change the oil again. Put some cardboard under there so we don't make a mess, which we will anyway, I'm sure. Okay, pull out that. Boy, that's going to be a challenge. Okay, 5W30 conventional. Let's see. What's really cool about this motor is that it has a low oil shutoff. It will not run if the oil level gets low. What will they think of next? Let's take a look at this oil level. Yeah, see that? It's up in those threads. Now what I do is I buy 93 premix stable into it, and about an ounce of mercury quick clean, and you can use any of those additives you like, the Chevron Techron, Seafoam, mercury quick clean. I have it because I got it at a good deal for my boat, and decided, well, I'll just use a little bit at a time for my lawn equipment, and it keeps everything just running a little bit better. At least I think so. Okay, we've got our 0.93 gallons in there. Close that up. We'll see if it fires up, and then I'll put the cover on that pulley. Alright, we're going to take this little, what does that say? Probably something important. Quick start guide. Fuel cap, muffler, air filter, oil cap fill, oil drain plug, throttle, engine. Starting procedure. Close choke. Closed. Open fuel valve. Open. Move to 1/3 fast. All right. On. That would help too, right? Pull start and choke to run. You guys ready? It's a lot of work if this doesn't work, but I think it will. Ignition. Well, damn. One pull. And I didn't even get the whole pull in. All right, Harbor Freight, 212cc, 6.5 horsepower engine. I'm gonna call that a success. So I'm gonna put this cover on. I'm gonna move this car out of the way. And I'm gonna get this thing outside and let it run through this tank out in the yard. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something. You know, the whole reason I'm making these videos is for new homeowners, people that are trying to, you know, figure out how to get some stuff fixed around their house. This isn't really maybe a new homeowner kind of job. You know, this is someone who might already have some tools and know what to do with some of them, but leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? Anything I can improve on? Maybe another video idea. Subscribe to the channel. Click like. Did I say that already? I don't know. Yeah, if you don't have this exact machine or this exact motor, you can still use hopefully some of what I showed you to do a similar job for yourself. Save some money. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video. All right. That was pretty damn cool. First pull. I don't think I've had that happen in my life ever. I don't think I've ever in my life had a motor start on the first pull. And I've been pulling on stuff since I was 5 years old. My dad had me mowing the lawn, blowing snow. Holy crap. Okay. Cool. Take care now. Let's see if it starts up on one pull again. What do you think? Got it out here. I'm going to let it run. I guess I won't be needing that key any longer, huh? Okay, turn it to on. Set it at 1/3 throttle. Choke on. Fuel on. Holy cow. That's awesome. You know, that's awesome. It's not a 0-degree day or nothing, but for a motor to start that easy, I don't know. I'm just, I didn't even know it was possible. Okay. See ya.